Hello, my name is Stefan. Welcome to Coffee Break Linux Lesson 10. Lesson 3 for Voyager Linux. On this lesson, we will explore the world of folders and files. It is not a complicated subject, but it is sometimes complicated to explain. Computers are giant calculators with the ability to manage a huge amount of information, data. This data needs to be stored somewhere and need to be accessible at some point. So the data is stored in files. Files needs to be structured as well. You cannot put a bunch of files in your computer without any structure. And we go about structuring files with folders. It kind of looks like a tree with branches and branches attached to other branches and so on and so forth. And the leaves at the end would probably be the files. So folders are an organized scheme that gives you access to other folders or files. So a folder is a container of folders or files. And a file is a container of data, information. There are multiple types of files. Some files are simply carrying information about text information, let's say, like your resume or some recipe or some document at work or at home. Other files will contain information, financial information. An accounting program would probably save its data into a file called your company, and it will contain accounting information. There are so many different types of files, and new types of files are created regularly to accommodate new programs. What's important to know is that there are, in general, two types of files. One type that is a data file, contains information. It is used by an application or program to access data. And there is the executable file, let's just say executable file or script file, which contain instructions. The information that this file would contain would be instructions to your computer. Do this, do that, show this, show that. And these files, executable files, script files, code files, or what we call programs, applications, games, software. They are the action into your computer. All files on a computer are stored on the disk or a disk. It could be more than one disk on a computer. And all files are stored within a certain structure. Depending on the operating system, it might be a particular structure. With the Linux operating system, the structure is easy to use for newcomers, at least with Voyager Linux. So let's see how to access those files and folders. So by default, new users to Voyager Linux will have automatic creation of personal folders, probably empty, of course, but they'll be there to to accommodate the user that starts with the operating system. To be able to access the user folders, you have to go into the principal main menu. You can go to all and go down to File Manager. That will open your user section with everything you see there are folders of some kind. Some folders are named music, so they could contain music. To open and close a folder, it's very easy. You double click the folder, and as you can see on the path on the top, it says I'm in the user so can be, and on the folder music. To go back, I can actually click so can be, go back one shot, or if I want to close the folder altogether, I'll just click the X on the right and I close the folder. For accommodating purposes, we've put a file manager icon here on our docking menu to have faster access to our own folders. So desktop folder will be every icon you see on your desktop will be on the desktop folder. So if you have, we have nothing right now, but if you add special icons and application starter shortcuts and so on, it would show on the desktop. Documents, downloads, music, pictures, public share templates and videos are the folders by default that comes with it. We have created our own for different purposes like mounts and project under work. You can create your own folder as well. Now, how do you go about creating a folder? Well, it's not that complicated. Then there are 3 methods to do that. So you pick one that you prefer. One consists of right-clicking with your mouse on an empty space in the folder where you want to create your folder. Because remember, you're creating a structure. So let's just say I'm going to double-click videos here. Here I got a few things. And I want to create another video folder right here called my folder, my video folder, just for instance. So I right-click right here. And I go to create folder on top. Now I have to name the folder, obviously, so that I know what could be contained in that folder. So I'll call it my video folder. Enter, and my video folder is created here. So a folder, again, is not a container of information. It's a container of containers or a container of files. So what's fun with folders is that you can actually destroy them as well. Delete them. If you remove a folder, you are also removing its content. Therefore, if it contains other folders that contains other folders that contains other folders that contains files, you'll be removing everything, every child folder from that folder, and child objects like files will be removed. So it's recursive removing, and it's the implications are important. If you are not sure what's in the folder, you got to explore these other folders and files before you actually make a deletion that you will regret. I know the folder is empty because I've just created it, so I'm going to delete it simply by selecting it and clicking the delete key on my keyboard, or by right clicking it and going to the delete option. Are you sure you want to delete? Of course I'm sure. Now it will be sent to the trash, which is not available on the icons, but it's available on the sub left menu of a folder. If you click there, I've just deleted this, so I can delete again my deletion and it would disappear. So let's go back to our main folder. Let's just create a folder right here in my user, direct user root access. I will just create a folder by right clicking and going to create folder. I'll call it folder 01, my first folder right here. So it's in alphabetical order, as you can see. I want to create another folder using a different method this time, and I'll go to file here and I'll go down to create folder. It's the same menu, it's the same principle, it's just a different way to create it. So I'll call it folder 02. Now I'm more at ease with creating folders. I want to create a folder using shortcuts on the keyboard only, so it's very easy. I press Control Shift N, N like November, N for new. So by clicking that, Control Shift N, this pops up. I just named the folder, and the third folder is created. They've all been created very easily in a different way. So I can select those folders and delete them. There's two ways to delete something on Linux and on most operating systems. Like I said, selection, and you select, right click and go to delete, or press the delete key on your keyboard, and there's the shift delete on your keyboard. If you do that, we're not going through the trash. We are taking the folder out of the system in a permanent way. I'll do the shift delete. I assure you want to permanently delete these three selected files, folders. You say delete, and if I go back to trash, I'll have none of what I've deleted. That is to be used with caution. You have to be sure you really want to delete permanently those file folders before you actually use the shift delete key. So that concludes the lesson of today. It's an important lesson because it brings structure to the way you'll be managing your own user account. If you're not structured, you will probably have files all over the place. And less structured you are, the more risk that you can actually delete something without knowing. So hopefully this lesson will help you see the benefit of a structure and the benefit of using folders and files, obviously, properly. Well, thank you very much for watching this lesson. Hope to see you next time in the next lessons. Thank you.